for a while before the game tonight. Just a great human being. He's really a very warm-hearted human. This going back to pass. Mushko's going to go to the end zone. Touchdown, Northampton!
Boy, breakdown
by Billy Haight.
Yeah, he was in coverage with Tony Davis, and somehow Davis split off and kind of lost him. Haight went straight back to the end zone. Nice job by Mushko buying some time, but there you see. It's a whole lot of room wide open in the end zone. Well, Davis just a little confusion there. And a nice pass by Mushko over Davis.
Tyler McCandless will try to add the extra point. It's up and it's good. And Northampton now takes a lead, 7-3.
Well, let's go back down the other way for a second. Liberty had the ball inside the 15, but still, it's very important for them to put points on the scoreboard. Just because of that, it's still one possession game now.
All right, we'll be back with more football. Northampton leads by 4.
When a customer buys their first new car from Scott Chevrolet, it's usually for the great price and selection.
When they come back, it's because we did everything right the first time, both in sales and service.
And no dealer in the Valley has higher customer loyalty than Scott. Choose from over 350 Chevrolets in stock, Impalas, Cavaliers, and our excellent selection of trucks.
One visit, and it's easy to see
what's made us #1 for over 30 years. Scott Chevrolet on the Lehigh Street Auto Mile.
Before you enjoy the comforts of home, you need to feel at home with your builder. That's why we've created the Total Quality Assurance Program, a comprehensive checklist that keeps you totally involved from the initial visit until long after you've moved in. It's no wonder so many Lehigh Valley families have trusted us for unique floor plans and award-winning quality. We use only the finest materials, including Andersen windows, all at value that can't be matched. Spectrum Homes, where the difference is in the details.
When you need a prescription filled, who do you turn to? Walters Pharmacy. Walters Pharmacy compounds prescriptions and takes filling prescriptions as their #1 priority. At Walters, you'll save time. Trust Walters Pharmacy for convenience with free, fast delivery in the city of Allentown. You can visit walterspharmacy.net and email the pharmacists with questions. Since 1937, Walters Pharmacy, making life easier through genuine care.
Light sweater night here at Northampton on just a terrific night for football. Jordan Urbanzik is going to boot this thing away as Northampton now has struck back after the Liberty field goal to take a 7-3 lead halfway through quarter number 2.
Light sweater, nothing. I have short sleeves on.
Yeah.
I won't be saying that in 2 weeks, but for tonight, short sleeves.
No rain in the forecast. Here is the boot for Urbanzik, high down at the 15-yard line as Liberty, Dave Dotter on the getting that kickoff and getting it out to about the 30-yard line, and that's where Liberty will have it first down and 10.
Pass along a big thank you to Jim Lindenmoyer. Gave us a few facts about Northampton, covers the team. Also gave us some great looking pens.
Yeah.
To Bob and myself.
Good to see Jim. First down and 10 at the 30-yard line. Dan Persa is the quarterback for Liberty. Still, the freshman. There's a handoff inside. Oh, Charlie Irvin's just going to meet a host of black shirts right at the line of scrimmage, and he'll probably lose about 2 yards in the process, and he took quite a whack.
Nothing too fancy by Northampton aside from spreading that defense out and just putting some extra guys in the box. That's been their success tonight. Irvin with just no options there. You see, he tries to go to the first option, little shuttle step move to the left, nothing there. Tried to go to the outside, and he found 2 linebackers.
Well, whatever Tico Johnson and his defensive coordinators decided tonight, so far it has just literally shut down Liberty as far as being on the ground. Their rushing game has evaporated tonight. Here comes the blitz as Persa's going to dump it out in the flat to Irvin, and he was rushed and pressured, and he threw it, and it was incomplete.
Yeah, good job just getting rid of the football there. You're looking at possibly a 10-yard loss. Northampton's defense has racked up 21 sacks this year for 132 yards lost by the opposition. There you see the main priority is just to get rid of the football there. He threw it in the general area of a receiver, but pretty much drove it straight into the ground. Good job by Persia to get rid of the football.
Other games tonight, Allen at Emmaus, Becca High at Nazareth, Easton at Freedom, Liberty at Northampton, Whitehall at Deeriff. Tomorrow night, the only game in the Lehigh Valley Conference, Parkland at Central, and we will be there and have it for you. Back to pass. Person looking downfield, can't see anybody. Now he's coming to the near sideline, avoids two tacklers, and then gets sandwiched between two defenders at the 28-yard line. No gain on the play.
Now looking downfield, Richard Jarnigan was wide open inside Northampton territory, but Persia with that pressure, three guys chasing after him, just could not find him.
Palmer will stand at the Northampton 40 in anticipation of McCormick's punt. And Ian is at about the 14-yard line. Here's a boot, nice and high and clear. Palmer for a fair catch at the 36, and that's where Northampton will have it first down and 10. We got a whale of a football game for you tonight. Northampton leads by 4.
Northampton takes over first down 10 at their own.
We'll see what Northampton does here. 5.5 left to play. They may stick with the ground game and try to eat up some time here and keep Liberty's offense off the field until halftime.
Wide to the far sideline is Billy Haight.
We'll see how much success they have if, in fact, they are going to go with the ground game.
3 wide receivers. Mushko standing back in the pocket. Lots of time out of the shotgun. Fires over. It was intended for Ed Crow, and even at 6'5", he couldn't get his hands anywhere near that one. 2nd and 10.
Yeah, one of the few bad passes we've seen by either quarterback tonight. That one just sailed. Northampton looking to strike quickly. That play only took 4 seconds off the clock. He can appreciate their aggressiveness. They want to try to march down the field, get a quick score in before halftime.
Haight is wide to the near sideline for Northampton. He's in motion now. Slowly coming to the line of scrimmage. Mushko is going to hand it off inside. Palmer on the carry to the 37-yard line. Probably got back to the line of scrimmage, and that'll bring up a 3rd down and 10.
Yeah, I was surprised they did not run on first down. Pick up a few yards, and then you have a few options, because now against the run here, they do chew up some time off the clock. But you're looking at 3rd and long. Liberty can look for the pass. And if Northampton doesn't get it, Liberty gets the ball back with still plenty of time left.
Wide receivers are Crow and Billy Haight. Haight, 16 receptions, 317 yards, so he can catch the ball if it's thrown anywhere near him. Mushko, a little shovel pass to Palmer, and that doesn't fake anybody out, and there's a loss of about 3 back to the Northampton 34. And Northampton, once again, will have to punt it away.
Adelsberger read this play all the way. You're going to see number 62 right there beats his man in the backfield, was watching that play develop, and was waiting for Palmer in the wings.
Van Ackeren will stand at the 25, waiting for Palmer's punt, who will stand at about the Northampton 22-yard line.
6th punt of the game, 3 each way now.
There is the snap, there's the boot. Again, high but short, hits at midfield. 45, 40, 37-yard line, and will drop dead at the 36 of Liberty, and that's where the Hurricane will open up shop again, 1st and 10.
We talked about special teams for Northampton. Let's give the Hurricane special team some credit that time. Put pressure on Palmer. I think he hesitated a little bit, maybe rushed his punt, because that ball went more straight up into the air as opposed to up and out. He might have seen there were about 3 guys streaking toward him. Might have rushed that punt just a little bit for Northampton. A fortunate bounce. Otherwise, Liberty would have got the ball right around midfield. As it is, they'll start on their own 36.
3:55 remaining on the first half from Northampton Al Erdesy Stadium. This, I think, is the kingpin game of the night. Some say it's the 2nd best game. Here is Irvin. Here is a carry by Van Ackeren. Cross 50, 45, 40, 35, 30, 25, 20, 10, 5. Touchdown, Brendan Van Ackeren. 65 yards.
Well, we talked earlier, a good team always makes adjustments. The coaching staff makes an excellent adjustment here. The standard run isn't working, so you have some misdirection. You have a lot of confusion. Everybody's looking for number 20 to carry it, so you hand it off, give it right to Van Akron. Big hole opens on the right side. Credit the right side of that offensive line, who is a little bit hobbled. We mentioned the injury to France. They did a nice job opening up that hole and giving Liberty its second lead of the night.
Before that run, Chris, Liberty had rushed 10 times tonight for 5 yards. 10 times for 5 yards. McCormick's extra point is up, it's high, and it's good. And with 3:43 remaining in the first half, we got a seesaw contest here, 10-7 in favor of Liberty.
And once again, you go back to that play earlier, why I thought it was so important for Liberty to go for the field goal there, even though they had first down just off the 10-yard line. We've got another replay of that first. Again, misdirection. Everybody's looking the other way. By the time they realize what's happening, Van Akron has more than enough room to run into the end zone. But that field goal was big. If they come away with no points, they're hanging their heads a little bit, because at that point in the ball game, they were having success moving the football, but they walk away with no points on the scoreboard. It's more of a tougher thing to get back into the ball game. With that field goal, they now have the lead.
Yeah, I saw a movie on television the other day, and the coach was saying to his team, deception, deception. Don't let them know who has the ball. Hide it. Put it on your hip. Put it behind your back. Put it anywhere. Just don't show it to them. And that's exactly what happened as Van Akron came in motion and took the ball. And just, I think you pointed out, and rightly so, had the Northampton defense standing on their heels, wondering who was running with the football, and Van Akron was. McCormick will boot it away. Northampton now with an opportunity to try to come back and either tie this thing up via field goal or perhaps get a touchdown, but let's see what happens. Here's the boot. And the fake reverse taken by Devin Klein, and he cuts across the 30-yard line and stopped right at that point. So it's 1st and 10 for Northampton. Tony Davis on the tackle.
Northampton takes over.
Well, Northampton goes with their own trickery. You're going to see they're going to fake the handoff. No one went the wrong way, but Northampton did a nice job of staying home. Just that alone is a little bit of an advantage for Northampton, because some of those gunners coming downfield had to slam on the brakes, see and watch which way the ball was going. But they did a nice job recovering. Northampton starting short of their own 30.
Big number 80, Ed Crow, is wide to the near sideline as Mushko now gets his operation. Here's a handoff, and it's taken by number 12, Billy Haight, as he gets across the 35, 40, 43-yard line, and that'll be enough for the third first down for Northampton.
Both coaches opening up the playbook. You see the second handoff attempt, double handoff, just like before. Haight, we know he can run with the football. Quick first down pickup.
That was the 15th rush by Northampton in the first half. Mushko is going to stand out of the shotgun at about the 35, and he's going to carry it straight ahead. Comes to the near sideline. 40, 45, 50, 45, and finally pushed out of bounds. Dave Dodder coming up and knocking him out of bounds, and that will be another first down for Northampton.
Design play all the way. Bad news, though, Mushlitz is hobbling a little bit, stretching out that right leg. This is a design play. They will set plays up for him just to run. You see some movement. Tight end went over to the right side to try to clear out some open space, and then Craig a little slow in getting up. He might have banged that knee against the turf.
1st and 10 at the Liberty 48. 3 minutes remaining first half. Quite a football game. Mushko back to pass. Turns, looks, fires, incomplete. It was intended for Chris Gabrillik at around the Liberty 40.
Oh, Mushko errors on the side of caution that time. Good interior defense that time by Larry Russell. So he made sure he kept that ball outside. Made his receiver have to run to get it. Otherwise, it would have dropped incomplete. Don't want to have an interception here under 3 minutes left. Ball in enemy territory. And you're only down by 3.
Tyler Longley is wide to the far sideline. Mushko will stand again out of the shotgun around midfield. Goes back to his own 45. Looks, fires over the middle, completed to Pammer at the 42-yard line and knocked off his feet, gain of 5.
Once again, the quarterback has to get rid of the football. They show the blitz but don't come. But still, those 3 guys up front still putting pressure on. We keep referring to that game last week against Deerf, but those 3 guys were key, wearing down the offensive line and really making it easy for themselves in the second half of that ball game.
2:25, the clock continues to run. Northampton inching a little bit closer. Crow again wide to the near sideline with Billy Haight. Mushko, hand off to Opplinger. He's going to get a couple of yards, crossed inside the 40 to the 36, and about a 4-yard gain, and it's going to be short of a first down.
Ready run there for Opplinger. Came into the game averaging over 5 yards a carry. You're going to see there's some pressure in the backfield. Gets around one tackler, takes a couple tough hits, and does get the first down.
The umpire will spot the ball at the Liberty 36. That's the 4th first down for Northampton in the first half. Billy Haight wide again to the near sideline. Crow, the tight end, on the other side. Mushko is the quarterback. Pammer is the setback. Here is a pitch out to Opplinger, rather. Opplinger is going to wind up, fire toward the end zone, and it's incomplete down at the end zone. And it was intended
for
Billy Haight, and that is just simply an incomplete pass.
And you can tell this is an important game. Both teams opening up the playbook. Haight was open, but didn't have a whole lot of room. Actually, on the replay, it looked like he didn't have much of a window.
Don't forget our show on WHOL tomorrow, 1600 a.m. from 10 to 11. Scott Tapp will be for the head football coach of Moravian, will be our first guest. Al Senovitis from DeSales. Ray Didinger from the post-game show Eagles will be with us as well. Here's a little dump pass out to Opplinger, 40, 35, 30, 26-yard line, and finally knocked out of bounds.
That is such a valuable weapon to have, that little short, little swing pass, especially against teams that like to blitz. That was going to be one of the keys we talked about. Northampton has used this very effectively this year and in this ball game. Sees the blitz coming, sees Opplinger there, turns a loss or even a no-gain play into a 7-yard pickup.
3rd down and 4 from the Liberty 29. Again, Haight and Crow wide receivers on the far side. Pammer and Opplinger the setbacks. Pammer getting the call straight ahead, 30, 25, 20-yard line, and finally dragged down from behind.
Yeah, he was down. Boy, Opplinger real quick that time. Almost appeared like the defense wasn't ready for him to carry the football.
First down 10 at the Liberty.
See, he gets it, and just like that, he's across the first down marker. Knee was down before the ball came loose.
5th first down for Northampton. We are now approaching 1:10 remaining in the first half. And now they're within striking territory at the 20-yard line of Liberty, trailing 10-7.
Look for Northampton to try to open things up.
Mushko to Pammer. Pammer back to Mushko at the 10-5. Touchdown, Northampton.
Well, I just said you could almost get a feel that they've been opening things up. They've been trying some tricky plays. You're really in a comfort zone here, because if you do something risky, you throw an interception or something goes wrong, there's under a minute left. You have Liberty buried back here in your own end zone, so you can almost sense that they were going to try something. And they execute it perfectly. You can make up all the great calls you want, but it all comes down to player execution. Perfect pass and a nice run there as Mushko took it in. There was one block out in front of him, didn't catch his number, but did a nice job setting up that TD.
Tyler McCandless will try to get the extra point through the uprights. Here's the boot. It's up, and it is good. So with 58 seconds remaining in the first half, again, seesaw time as Northampton now retakes the lead from Liberty by a score of 14-10.
Such a huge ball game. We talked about the importance of this ball game pregame.
We will be presenting the homecoming 2003 court.
What a good ball game.
Yeah, 4-2. Both teams coming in with a 4-2 record. That unusual 1-0 record in the league with one loss, pretty much eliminating a team from winning the division.
There's a moon out tonight. Perfect night for almost anything.
Number 41, Jordan Urbanchek will kick for Northampton.
Banchik
Charles Irwin and Dave
will
Dodd
boot this thing away.
Liberty.
Charles Irvin and Dave Dodder will stand at the Liberty 15. Boy, it's going to be a huge win for whoever comes away with the W tonight. Big, 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 big. Still in the running for league and district playoff slot.
And they have the advantage of the teams that are in front of them battling each other tonight. Game 1 of our doubleheader on RCN. And of course, Northampton has Easton next week.
Wow. Here's the boot. Going to drive Dodder back to the 12-yard line. Or that across to the 25, 30, 35, 40, 40. Charles Irvin rather to the 45-yard line. They switched positions on each side, on each other. One was on the far side, one on the near side, and Irvin gets the ball at the 10 and takes it all the way up to the 45-yard line, and Liberty will have it 1st and 10 with 50 seconds to go, first half.
Once again, good patience there, waiting for the blocks. Went towards the center. Liberty with good field position to start. Looking at the personnel, looks like they're just going to sit on the football for the remaining 50 seconds.
Easterling is in the backfield, and he gets the call straight ahead.
Reggie Easterling on the
And Reggie gets to midfield, and maybe the 49 of Northampton, gain of 6, second down 4 with 37 seconds remaining.
timeout.
Well, that play stopped with around 43 seconds left. They called the timeout with 37 seconds on the clock.
Very, very hard-fought game between two teams that need this game big time, and both squads know it.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Good crowd here tonight on the Northampton side. Excellent. Here's the trivia question. You want to take it there, Coach?
where they will play the
Okay.
Red Rovers of Easton High
This is
School.
the 24th meeting between these two teams. What is the combined record
At East End.
when the Hurricanes square off against the K-Kids in this stadium? No. I could get that one right.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Want to say hello to Dr. John Connolly tonight, an RCN follower. He and his dad have a practice at the Connolly Family Center, 15th or 16th and Hamilton Streets, 17th and Hamilton, somewhere in that vicinity, around 17th, I guess. And John Connolly was a graduate of Allentown Central Catholic, went on to North Carolina State, was quite a wrestler, and he still looks tremendous a couple of years later as he is in a terrific practice and a wonderful human being, Dr. John Connolly, and we'd like to say hello to him, and he's a steady RCN listener.
Here it comes. They came out with a tight formation. Now they're sending 3 wide receivers off to the left, trying to open things up. They called that timeout. They wanted to take advantage of it.
Yep, Persa.
Dan Purser's pass is
If they come out on first down and they give it to Easterling and he picks up 1 or 2, I don't think they do this. I think they just run out the remaining time. But since he was so successful, brought the ball up right around midfield, they still have 2 timeouts. They haven't used one here, though.
within 38.
Kiddick was the receiver on that pass at the 38-yard line of Northampton. 20 seconds remaining, and clock continues to run.
Same formation came out, all tight, 3 backs. Now they send the backs off to the left.
Yep, nobody in the backfield. Here is a windup by Persa, fires to Kiddick again at the 25-yard line, and that is incomplete.
Is incomplete.
Yeah, Kiddick trying to keep his hands down, low pass, and try to cradle the ball and bring it inside, but the ball did get a piece of the turf.
Great to talk to Tim Monsman again, always open, very warm human being, head coach at Liberty, very helpful at all times, and just a fun guy to talk. He knows his stuff. He's really turned this Liberty program around, and he's got very high ambitions, and he told the kids right from the very beginning of the season, this is what I want to accomplish, this is what we want to accomplish, and we're going to do it. And right now they're well on track. Back to Persa at the 45. Here's the Hail Mary toward the end zone. Incomplete at the goal line with 3 seconds remaining.
This is
Kiddick
what-
again, the receiver.
This is why I was surprised they didn't use one of their 2 remaining timeouts. They only have 1 play left now after going for the Hail Mary, and they almost made it an academic point because almost a great catch, one-on-one coverage,
Billy Haight was defending Chris on that play, and that ball was very well thrown, and had Kittick been able to reach just another foot, that would have been a touchdown. Davis and Van Akron are wide to the far sideline for what should be the final play of the second quarter. Pursa back, bouncing on the balls of his feet, looking downfield, can't find anybody, so he decides to run, and he does. 40, 35, 30, 25, 20-yard line, and that will do it for the first half. An 18-yard pickup, but not enough, and at the end of the first 24 minutes of play, we got a humdinger here tonight, as they say in the country. The score, Northampton 14, Liberty 10. We'll be back with our halftime show in a moment.
It starts here. Gets better through school. And ends up here.
Let's go get Yaakov. You know it's always been the best. Let's go get Yaakov for quality that beats the rest. They got cheesesteaks, French fries. The famous Yaakov hot dog is known worldwide. Let's go get Yaakov. The secret sauce is one of a kind.
Yaakov's, an Allentown tradition.
43 high-performance engines, 774 quarts of oil, 1,032 burning tires, 5,160 gallons of fuel, all wreaking havoc on one filter. Wix Filters. Bring it on. Captures 45% more dirt and lasts 30% longer than the leading national brand. Wix Filters for NASCAR and your car.
We are back at halftime here at Northampton's Al Erdosy Stadium, and they had some special things going on halftime, Chris, but right now there's the score, and a heck of a football game, probably one of the best tonight in the Lehigh Valley, if not the best, and it's really been hotly contested on both sides, both teams playing very, very well, and now we can take a look at the stats and look at some of these numbers when they put them up on the board, and you'll find out exactly what happened and why. Look.
Well, first downs even there, rushing yards, a big chunk of that 76 yards for Liberty came on one play. Northampton has attempted rushing 19 times as opposed to 12 for Liberty. Again, Liberty had their problems getting the rushing game going early in the ball game. Passing is pretty much even. Liberty went deep downfield for their first touchdown, and then Northampton answered back pretty effectively passing throughout. Northampton 7 for 13, 7 for 11 for Liberty, so that's very equal. That one turnover was very big for Liberty. Remember, they were inside the 5-yard line and fumbled. That could be a huge difference in this ball game, as it is just a 4-point swing right now. Low penalties, Liberty a couple penalties. The 1 point we thought it might hurt them. Punting overall is pretty good. Northampton had the one by Pammer that he probably got rid of a little earlier with some pressure on him, but otherwise pretty even up and down the scoreboard. That turnover may be a big key, though.
Okay, now let's take a look at a few highlights as everybody's dressed to the T tonight. Homecoming Queen, King, and so forth and so on. Here we go with Northampton.
Play action. Mushko back, and all alone, Haight got behind the defensive back. Liberty answering back, double handoff in the backfield, opening things up for Van Akkeren, who takes it to the house. That was after Liberty really had some problems getting the running game going. They did that play to open things up. And Northampton answers back, right back to the quarterback. And Craig Mushko is going to take this one in. And that is, right now, is the difference in the ball game. Northampton leads 14-10.
Okay, we are getting ready for third quarter action tonight, and this is the 24th meeting of these two schools, dating back quite a few years. And we want to thank Jim Lindenboyer for some of the numbers that he gave us. Boy, I look back and I see 1938 and 1941, and I think, my goodness gracious, I can't quite remember those years, but Dr. Angelo Ceci is walking through the stadium here. He's the new superintendent of schools in Northampton, very congenial person, just shaking hands with everybody and saying hello. And we are ready for football now, as Liberty will boot it away, as McCormick will get it off to Jeff Pammer. Here's a short one coming on this side, picked up by number 21 is Devin Klein, who gets it to about the 32-yard line. And that's where Northampton will have it first down and 10. Chris, this ought to be a very interesting 24 minutes. 3 losses, basically, for all practical purposes overall, eliminates a team from further consideration for playoffs. Both of these teams have 2. Somebody's going to lose tonight.
Yeah, you just saw the answer to that trivia question. This shows you how tight this battle has been between Northampton and Liberty. When you think about great area rivals, Liberty versus Northampton isn't always one that jumps up at you, but they've had some very tight battle over the years.
Crow in motion from right to left as Mushko stands at the 25-yard line out of the shotgun, fumbles, picks it up now, goes to the far side, looking downfield, unloads to the sideline, and it is incomplete.
And once again, a smart decision to get rid of the football. A lot of talk right now about Liberty and Northampton. You know, you talk about the playoff picture. We'll get another look at that play. Once again, nice job by Mushko. Doesn't get rattled after he drops it, recovers, moves to the outside, making his checks, sees nothing, and just throws the ball away.
Yeah, with 3 losses already, teams such as Becca High with 4, Nazareth with 3, Allen Whitehall, Diriff lost 4 to 5 games, and so they're, for all practical purposes, out of it, and that really limits the number of teams remaining as Pammer crosses the 34-yard line to the 35, picks up a couple. That'll bring up third down and 5.
You're going to see Pammer coming to the near side.
11 and a half minutes remaining in the third quarter. If you just joined us, 14-10. Northampton leads Liberty by 4. Crow to the wides, to the far side. Crow to the near sideline. Back to pass is Mushko. Looking, dumps it out and almost intercepted, but finally Pammer did come down with it at the 35. No gain, and that's going to bring up fourth down.
Well, did all he could to hang on to the football there. Probably wouldn't have mattered either way, as he got hit right at the line of scrimmage. Liberty putting the pressure on the quarterback. Mushko a couple times was forced out of the pocket, had to get rid of the football, and also nice job by the secondary downfield. Tight coverage. Mushko had no options down the field.
Pammer will stand back at the 20-yard line. Van Akkeren at the Liberty 30 in anticipation of this fourth down punt. Liberty looks like they're going to bring everybody. Here's a bad snap, and it's picked up by Pammer. He gets across the 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 45, still on his feet, 40, 35, 30. First down, Northampton. Wow.
Well, you talk about breaks in this ball game. We mentioned it a few moments ago. That fumble inside the 5 really hurt Liberty, and that time it looks like total disaster for Northampton. Pammer looks up, sees white jerseys all over the place, somehow finds a way to get the first down and a whole lot more, changing the whole complexion of this drive. Instead of Liberty getting it back, Northampton now in Liberty territory inside the 35-yard line.
Turning lemonade from a lemon at the 35-yard line. First down, Northampton. The Concrete kids now. Here's Mushko back to pass, looking downfield. He's going to air it out to Pammer, and there's some contact at the 20-yard line, and a lot of the people on this side said, hey, that was a bump, that was interference, no call, incomplete pass.
Offensive line giving Mushko some more time to get rid of the football. Just mentioned that Liberty was putting pressure on Craig before that punt. And I can't really see if there was any contact. It was while the ball was in the air and on the way down. It looked like Pammer had finally separated himself, but could not get there in time to make the reception.
Second down from the Liberty 35-yard line with Pammer the setback right next to Mushko, the quarterback. Craig looking downfield, Dan can't find anybody, cuts to the 30 and still on his feet at the 25-yard line, and there's a flag in the backfield.
Yeah, this
will be against Northampton, and this will come back.
Yeah, I saw a hold right as that play was developing. It's a shame because Northampton did a nice job executing that option. And the Northampton fans also not happy. They thought they wanted a flag before, and now they get flagged here, but a definite hold in the backfield.
10 minutes remaining in the quarter number 3, and an outstanding football game tonight from Northampton as the kids lead Liberty 14-10.
Yeah, the hold is a little bit off to your left there. You see the nice hole opens up. And one of the guys in front was holding. So that play all comes back.
So they'll march it back to the 48-yard line of Liberty, and it'll be second down and a country mile now for the kids. Mushko back to pass, looking downfield, squares the shoulders away, he goes to the sideline, incomplete. Intended for Billy Haight.
Boy, Haight once again with a burst of speed right at the end of that play. It was double covered, but somehow found a way to get out. Mushko rolling out, and there you see he separates right at the end of that play, but ball was just a little overthrown.
Well, our executive staff set a country mile. Well, 25 yards is not a country mile, but it's just a phrase. Here is Mushko, the little shovel pass, and wherever that was supposed to go, it didn't land up doing anything. As Haight got the pass and immediately was knocked down at the 40-yard line, at the 50-yard line, so it's going to bring up fourth down, and Van Ackeren will go back to the 15 on this fourth down punt.
That's a play where the quarterback has to decide, am I going to get hammered, or is one of my receivers or running backs going to get hammered? So he just flipped it, and a big stop by Liberty. First it looked like they forced them to punt, now they really pinned them back and could get decent field position.
Pammer saying, why don't you dribble this ball up back to me now, and I'll pick it up and run another 40 yards.
Or a country mile.
Or a country mile. Back to the 35-yard line for this punt. Liberty looks like they're going to bring a lot of people. Here's another bad snap, and here comes the flag as Pammer was dumped. The ball drops at the 40, and it's not going to make any difference where it went because this is going to go against the Hurricane.
And Liberty, again, it appears, shooting themselves in the foot. They do a great job getting back there. Well, I don't even know if 15 yards, though, will give them the first down. They may just have to re-punt this.
It'll be fourth down and probably about 10, depending on how they sort this whole thing out.
Yeah, but Liberty had done a great job. They really put pressure on Pammer. The long snap, once again, short hop. Pammer certainly didn't help, but he had to get rid of that ball in a hurry. So once again, as opposed to out and up the way you like to get rid of the football, he had to punt it just quickly to get rid of it. Went straight up in the air, and Liberty would have got the ball back in really good field position, at least off of their 40-yard line.
Well, if this is going to be 15, Chris, it's only going to be 5.
Yeah, it still wouldn't be enough for first down. They can repunt this, though, and they can pin Liberty back.
So now it's going to be fourth down and 20. And Pammer moves a couple of yards up to about the 42 for this punt. Here's the snap, good one. Here's the boot, it's a good one. It's high, not very long, but it bounces and it comes back to the 32-yard line, and that's where Liberty has it.
Yeah, it almost looked like he was trying to angle it away that time, but not the best punt of the day. So Liberty after all of that, it looked like they were going to get the ball back about 2 minutes ago. Finally takes over. Their offense comes back onto the field on their own 32-yard line.
First and 10 for the Hurricane at the 32-yard line, trailing now by 4 points. Here is Persa, and a handoff coming through is Irvin to about the 40-yard line. Make that Easterling. Easterling on the carry to the 40, pickup of about 7, and that'll bring up 2nd down and 3.
Easterling with a couple nice runs tonight for Liberty. He had that first run in the closing minutes of the first half. Picked up about 6-7 yards, gave Liberty a shot.
Davis to the near sideline. Here is a fake outside, and again the big guy comes right through to the 50-yard line. Number 32 is Larry Russell. Opplinger on the stop, but they get in Northampton territory and in the process pick up a 1st down. 1st and 10 Liberty at the Northampton 48.
Russell blows by a couple guys. We've seen him make some really good plays on the defensive side. Liberty now in Northampton territory.
He's 5 feet 9 inches tall, but he's got 205 pounds of muscle packed on him. Here is the call again. Easterling gets to the 46-yard line. Again, Opplinger up to make the stop. 2nd down and about 7.
This is more the Liberty type of game, moving the chains, keeping the ball on the ground, picking up 3-4 yards a pop. Almost lulling the defense to sleep, and then watch out, Peugeot goes over the top.
Here is Persa back to pass at the 45-yard line, and he goes to the sideline, and it's a completed pass to number 84, Kyle Koretzman. And somebody came up with a pretty good stick. We'll see it on the replay.
Yeah, Koretzman has done a nice job blocking. We've seen Liberty a few times this year, but does a nice L route there that time. Does a nice job cradling the ball as a defensive back right on his off of his left shoulder, and another big 1st down pickup.
At the 37-yard line, straight ahead. Reggie Easterling carries to the 32-yard line of Northampton. 2nd down and 7.
Liberty taking their time. Some higher percentage passes on this drive. Otherwise, just giving it to the running backs.
6:45 remaining in the 3rd quarter. No balloons in the stadium right now, even for homecoming. Here's Persa back to pass, squares the shoulders away, fires over the middle, incomplete. Van Ackeren was in the neighborhood, but not close enough. 3rd down and 7.
Yeah, single coverage downfield. Not a whole lot of room to throw. Pretty good coverage by the secondary of Northampton.
Good to see the Liberty people bringing a pretty decent crowd from West Bethlehem tonight. And of course, Northampton has good turnout here. This is such a big game for both teams and both coaches. I think here's Irvin winding up. The southpaw fires to Davis and intercepted at the goal line by Josh Harricle. He gets across the 20, 30, 35, 38-yard line, and there's a flag at the 19.
Yeah, 2 flags on the field, both of them coming after the interception. Well, real surprise there. We've seen the coaches going deep into the playbooks today. On 3rd down, they felt like they had to come up with something. Not a real good pass, though.
And we'll watch this on replay and see exactly who did this. Persa's going to hand to Irvin, and the southpaw is going to wind up. Davis was the intended receiver. Intercepted by Josh Harricle.
Yeah, Harricle was a nice job running back. You see the flagging at the end of the play. Guys just looking for somewhere to block, but that pass was underthrown. Harricle was a slight step behind the receiver, but the pass was so underthrown that allowed Harricle not only to catch up, but also to get in position to steal the ball away.
Northampton has to be careful now. They're at their own 13-yard line, and they are going to be careful and just go to the running game as Palmer gets the call straight ahead for about 2. 2nd down and 8 as the clock continues to run, and that's what Northampton wants it to do. Hope you enjoyed game 1 tonight. This is the second game of our doubleheader. Tomorrow, Lafayette. Tomorrow night, Parkland Central Catholic. Another full weekend on RCN4 Sports. Hope you enjoy all the football as we are through half the season right now and a little bit more. Long count by Mushko. Pitch out to Opplinger. Ooh, man, was he corralled. Talk about taking cattle down. As whoever came up just grabbed them by the shoulder pad and whipped them down. Doggy style.
Yeah, Larry Russell Sr. says this is enough of that. Good defenses, when something bad happens, they will come over and they'll try to make a big play. We've seen this defense play very well here in the second half for Liberty. Looks like, well, they actually had Northampton stopped twice, take away that muff punt, which Northampton got a first down out of. But they've really played well, and they're looking to once again make a big stop, force Northampton to punt deep in their own territory.
Opplinger probably said to Mushko, let's not run that play again. Mushko back to his goal line. He's in trouble back there. Now he comes out to the 5, to the 10, and he fires to the sideline, and it's a completed pass up at the 35, 40, 45-yard line. Billy Haight, 50, 45, 40, 35, 30, 25, 20, 15, and finally knocked out of bounds. Oh, my goodness.
The old adage of do not stand around if you're a wide receiver really paid off there. First of all, nice job by Mushko to run around, create some more time, and then the receiver to get himself open. Look, he's in his own end zone there, avoids the safety, steps up, keeps looking at his options, and then a great run after the catch. Haight comes around the end, does a nice little weave inside and out of traffic. You know, I made the comment last week on radio that Lehigh Valley football is so exciting. We were talking about comparing it with the rest of the area, but outstanding quarterbacks this year. One of the reasons why I think this year's league is so entertaining.
Mushko to the near sideline, to the 10-yard line. Wow, he gets popped twice, and he gets to the 8. Somebody really put a shoulder into him, and down he went. Gain of actually a loss on the play.
One of the things I think gets kind of lost in the shuffle of football is that in this area this year, we have a lot of quarterbacks that can do a lot of things well. Here you see Mushko. This is a design play running all the way. There's a lot of guys around the league the past few years, and especially this year, that can pass and make good decisions with the football. And they're also very effective runners, not just broken play. You go ahead for 25 yards and then you look good on the statistical categories. Guys that consistently carry the ball, coaches design plays for them, and they get the job done.
2nd and 6 from the 9. Palmer's going to get the call over right tackle, and he gets to the 5-yard line. 4-yard pickup. That'll bring up 3rd down. And about a long 3.
If Northampton scores here, this has to be very disheartening to Liberty. That, again, we mentioned the defense playing well here to start the second half, but a big hole opens up on that right side of the offensive line for Northampton. Again, John Mann getting the call at right guard.
3:33 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Mushko comes back to pass, turns around, and he's going to get blitzed and hit and knocked back for a sack at the 22-yard line. However, there is a flag at the 10.
Right around the line of scrimmage, probably against Northampton. And Mushko that time just got it from all different directions. Nowhere to go, nowhere to put the football.
Well, as Chris pointed out correctly, it is against Northampton, and it is a hold. It's declined by Liberty because they sacked Mushko all the way back at the 20-yard line, so penalty and the sack actually washed each other out, and the clock will start with 3 minutes to go.
Well, Northampton, if you're thinking about field goals, they like to keep it inside 25 yards, and they are now outside of that. So a huge sack, the Liberty defense stepping up, making sure that Northampton doesn't even attempt the field goal.
Crow and Palmer are wide to the near sideline, and Mushko's looking at both of them. He fires toward the corner of the end zone. Caught! Touchdown, Northampton! Jeff Palmer.
Well, once again, it looks like good coverage as that play is developing. There's double coverage down there. Usually if you have double coverage, you have one guy sticking tight to him, another guy plays back, but maybe some miscommunication. We'll look at it again. See, he's right there. And just a nice job of concentration by Haight to hang in there. And the D-back just kind of peeled off of him.
Larry Russell blocks the point after attempt by Tyler McCandless, and so the PAT is not good. And with 2:48 remaining in the third quarter, it is now Northampton 20, Liberty 10.
That's Russell. Boy, he's been active here in the second half especially. We mentioned him defensively in the first half, but he's stepping up, making some big plays, and that one on special teams. What that does, of course, still a two-possession game either way, but now Liberty does not have to go for the two-point conversion to tie.
Tomorrow on our show, we'll be reviewing the games today and see how our picks went. So far, so good, I think. I had picked Emmaus over Allen, Beck over Nazareth, Easton over Freedom, Northampton over Liberty, and Whitehall over Darragh. And our upset special of the week is Central over Parkland.
And this year I've given up trying to pick. Well, one of the things we talked about with the Northampton coaching staff was, you know, how surprised are you? Are you surprised about this season? And even last week's game, the people I talked to that were at the game were not surprised by the fact that Northampton won, but how well they played last week against a very, you know, we can debate this point whether Becca is a very strong team or just a good team.
Dotter gets it at the 15-yard line, gets to the 20, 25, 30, 33-yard line, upended at that point, and Liberty takes over. Let's see now if the air has been taken out of their sails or whether they can come back and counter that touchdown pass and get a score themselves.
Well, I think some of these guys are trying to keep everyone in the ball game. We mentioned Russell a moment ago. Still plenty of time left. Over 14 and a half minutes left. They have shown the ability to move the football tonight. They've just been stalled a couple times when they get down deep in Northampton territory.
Dan Pursa, freshman quarterback, really outstanding this year. Here's a handoff. Irvin never can get on track tonight. It's been not heard from very much. He gets out to the 33, pickup of about 2.
Well, one thing with Northampton's play the past few weeks, I think with any victory from here for the rest of the regular season, they lose the label of a surprise win or an upset win, although probably next week they go in as an underdog against the Red Rovers.
No question. Second down and about a long 8.
But they're not going to surprise anyone anymore.
Pursa, handoff inside. Gain of about a yard on the play, third down and 7.
And you have to think pass again. Running game not able to be very consistent for Liberty tonight. Northampton has put some extra guys in the box. Move the defensive end over, trying to force some guys back into the center of the field. And you take away a couple of those runs and a subpar rushing performance by the Hurricanes.
You're absolutely right. Before Van Ackeren's 65-yard touchdown jaunt, they were, oh man, here's a pass out into the flat. Whoa. And Van Ackeren, speaking of, Brendan got the ball at the 33, and somebody really waxed him at that point, and we'll pick it up on the replay.
Jarnigan.
Watch this.
He made a nice defensive play earlier, and he's going to make a spectacular solo tackle. Van Ackeren, no shot to get away.
Wow.
Richard was right there.
Fourth down, and Liberty will have to punt it away as McCormick will stand back at the 21-yard line.
Well, the question you pose, would Liberty show some life trying to bounce back here on that possession? I guess you have to say no.
Hammer breaks a tackle at the 30-yard line, gets out to the 38, and that's where he's put down. And Northampton with a 10-point lead. And the third quarter almost at an end, has a 1st and 10 at their own 39-yard line.
One thing I do think you have to watch for here, though, Liberty's defense to try to step up again, try to make a play. They start reaching in, trying to strip the ball loose or make an interception. They're right back in this ball game.
Probably Northampton, Chris, will now choose to stay pretty much on the ground. But of course, as soon as I say that, they come out into their shotgun formation.
I think it's a little early.
Mushko at the 35-yard line, and the quarterback option. He pitches it out. That's a dangerous play, but this one's going to pick up about 8 yards. As Opplinger carries it to almost midfield.
Tico Johnson pretty aggressive in his play calling all season long. I don't think he goes to strictly running here, although you know they've had a lot of success running the football on the option play. I think we'll still see the option a little bit more here in the second half.
Second down and 1 for Northampton at the 49.
Interesting down here. They can try to go long if they want and still have a very makeable third down.
I think the quarter is going to expire. It is 3, 2, 1, and that's the end of quarter number 3. With the score, Northampton 20, Liberty 10. We'll be back with the fourth and final quarter in just a moment.
Fans, if you love dealing with a winning team, head to the leader, Kleckner's in Whitehall and Emmaus, featuring GE washers and dryers, GE dishwashers, GE microwaves, GE ranges, GE refrigerators. Plus, Kleckner's features free delivery, backed by their own factory-trained service department. Hurry in for best selection. Make us your last stop and see the savings on new GE appliances at Kleckner's, 2177 MacArthur Road in Whitehall and 575 Chestnut Street in Emmaus.
Well, I heard a lot about Northampton this season, Chris, with their 4-2 overall record, which has been the best here in just years and years and years and years. And I wondered how good this team is. I want to tell you, they may not have all the greatest talent in the world, although the talent is there. These players aren't great, but Tico Johnson and his offensive and defensive coordinators have put together an outstanding game plan. Wow. Opplinger just got to the line of scrimmage, and number 52 for Liberty coming up, Jacob Walsh, really put the blocks to him at the line of scrimmage, a loss of 1.
I want to go back to that play you saw on replay as we were going to the break. Looked like Jim Zuber was the one for Northampton that made that great solo tackle out in the flat. You know, we're kind of praising Northampton here, and again, they're probably more of the surprise. I think a lot of people had higher expectations for Liberty coming into this season, so the fact that they're 4-2 is not so much of a surprise. Of course, they're coming off a great win against Bethlehem Catholic a week ago, but Northampton is probably more of a surprise for this season.
The umpire picks up the ball and will walk it back. They're going to pace off the penalty now for holding at the Northampton 38-yard line, and this is going to be second down and 11. I said coming out of the third quarter, fourth and final quarter, you just never know in this game of football, and we've seen enough overtimes that the fourth and the key word final may not be final. Here is Mushko now in a reverse pitch out to Pammer, coming this side, 40, 45, 50, 48-yard line, first down Northampton.
Also, let's give credit to Billy Haight, an excellent downfield block, making sure that Northampton gets that first down. He's done a great job picking up some awesome offensive numbers, but if he doesn't make that block, Northampton gets stopped with maybe a 5 or 6 yard gain. You're going to see on the flip comes near side. There's a whole lot of room, but Billy Haight, there you see at the tail end of that play, making a block right around the 50-yard line.
They do it all. Put it upstairs, and when they keep it on the ground, they change plays. They're constantly in motion, and change is the middle name of this team. You can never, they're not predictable. Mushko winds up, fires to the sideline, almost completed, but incomplete at the last moment to Ed Crow at the Liberty 20.
Tony Davis with good defense, downfield, single coverage. Got his arm in there and swatted that ball away right at the end of the play.
Tony Davis is 6 foot, 165 pounds, and Ed Crow is 6'5", 210. Second down and 10 for Northampton at the Liberty 49, leading by 10. Another score here could put the nail in the coffin and really deal a death blow to the Hurricanes' playoff hopes. Opplinger gets the call, and he's going to get swarmed under back for about a 7-yard loss to the 45-yard line.
Big play by the defense, stepping up. You're going to just see it flooded over on the top. And getting there first, Adelsberger. He's been a force on the defensive line tonight. 6'2", 250-pound senior making a big stop. Now you're looking at 3rd and long. Northampton will probably have to put the ball in the air, although watch out for Mushko. He can run the option. He can run it himself.
Mushko goes back to pass, turns, looks downfield. Whoop, evaded one tackler. Now he fires out to the flat, incomplete. And he was looking for Opplinger, and nothing doing on that play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down and 14. And Northampton's going to have to give it back to Liberty as Van Ackeren goes back to the 15-yard line.
Nice job by the Hurricane defense. Didn't get the pressure on Mushko right away. Forced him out of the pocket, but good coverage downfield. All single coverage, too. All 3 defensive backs doing a nice job sticking to their man.
Hey, Chris, how about Pittsburgh over Notre Dame? My pick tomorrow, Purdue over Penn State, and Dallas over the Eagles.
I'm on my way to the bank now.
At the 30.
First it's closed.
Yeah. 35-yard line. Here's Palmer's boot. End over end, going to bounce in front of, oh boy, Van Ackeren. Look at that bounce. It goes to the 1-yard line, down at that point, and Northampton's got Liberty with their back to the wall.
Once again, good hustle by Opplinger getting down the field. How about these players from wrestling coming down here? They know football. They know how important that is.
Looks like it should have been closer to the goal line than it is to the 5. They're going to spot it at the 4, and it's going to be 1st down for Liberty.
Yeah, once it gets inside the 10 and especially the 5, most special team coaches are happy if they just sit on it. The ball probably would have rolled another yard or 2, but Opplinger wanted to make sure he got there. And of course, possession takes over where he first touches the ball, which was probably right around the 4.
Andrew Lee is wide to the near sideline, and here is a handoff inside. And boy, this is going to amount to nothing but about 7 black shirts on top of the white one. Larry Russell with the carry.
Real tough situation for Liberty here. You don't want to get too fancy with the play calling, because if you make a mistake, it's a 3-possession game.
Would have been Easterling. 32 and 33. Look about the same from this distance, but it's a gain of only 1 anyway. 2nd down and 9. And now we are under 10 minutes and counting. Northampton's got to figure if we hold them here and they boot it back to us, we're going to be in great position to wrap this thing up.
Watch a big play, though.
And a big play indeed is what can kill him. Back to pass at the goal line. Purse is going to wind up, goes to the 40-yard line, incomplete, and it was intended for Kyle Koretzman.
And Koretzman did a nice job that time, changing from a receiver on that play to just making sure that Harrickle does not pick the ball off. Harrickle once again good position on this play, and Koretzman does a nice job boxing out. You see he slams on the brakes, the pass a little bit underthrown, almost like, to use the boxing term, boxing out, making sure that Harrickle could not get around him, jumped high in the air and swatted that ball down.
Van Ackeren is wide to the far sideline on his 3rd down and 8. Andrew Lee is on this side. Here comes Pursa going back to the goal line, looking downfield, dumps it out, and he's got a completed pass, but not going to mount to anything as he got Easterling, but that's only a pickup of about 3 or 4, and Liberty now is going to have to give it away, and Northampton will come up with great field position.
That was the play I was looking for on 1st and 2nd down. Obviously easier to call it up here, but now things get very tough for Liberty. They'll have to pull up another big defensive stop and without question hold Northampton off the board as we're now under 9 minutes.
Ian McCormick from the goal line is going to boot this thing away. The punt goes to the 40-yard line, taken by Pammer, and he's hit right at the ankle tops and is dropped at the 39-yard line. Good defensive effort by Matt Sterner.
Flag on the play. Right as the tackle was being made, the flag is away from the play.
Holding against Northampton.
That was well after the play, so it won't help Liberty get the ball back, but it will at least push Northampton back into their own territory.
Hey, Mr. Color Analyst, what do you think of the baseball playoffs? Any calls at this point? The Cubs, Marlins?
Well, you know what? Last week I was pressed for my predictions, and I said Cubs and Yankees. And those were not well received, but, you know, hey, I'm still 2 for 2.
Well, I'm not far from you. I said Cubs and Red Sox. That would be
that would
nice
be entertaining.
Matchup.
Sure.
Yeah. I don't know if the league would be particularly thrilled with that television matchup of the World Series, but
it's a lot of history in that matchup.
Oh, you bet. 85 years since the Red Sox won a World Championship, and here getting across midfield to the 48-yard line is Pammer. Boy, Jeff just keeps lugging the football.
This is where it's so important to have guys that you can trust carrying the football. They've done it through the air as well tonight, but this is the time when you really want to keep the ball on the ground or go with a conservative pass.
2nd down and 6 from the 47, and Liberty has to stop Northampton here if they're going to have any chance to get back in this thing. Here is a handoff inside. Opplinger straight ahead, and that's not what Liberty wanted. Opplinger inside the 40 to the 37. First down, Northampton.
No, they should, even if they don't pick up a first down now, they should get the clock to around 6 minutes. That's not a whole lot of time to score twice. Goodhole opens up right through the middle. Opplinger running the football.
Well, he's a load coming out of there. 6 feet, 215 pounds, Opplinger is.
Now over 400 yards rushing on the year. To go along with Pammer, who's closing in on 700.
That's right, and Pammer is 6'2", 205, so it's not easy to stop these guys out of the I formation. Hand off to Pammer, and now they're just working it left and right. And a gain of about 2, 2nd down and 8 to the Liberty 37-yard line. We're approaching 7 minutes left in the game.
Well, that's another nice thing about the league this year. A lot of teams have not one but 2 quality running backs. You look at Easton, who has probably the most lethal 1-2 combination, but Northampton over 1,000 yards rushing between Pammer and Opplinger, and both of those guys can also catch the ball coming out of the backfield.
Talking about Goldburn and Pipperott at Easton. Boy, talk about 2 guys in the backfield you just love to have there. You could just play one off the other. Here is a handoff. Again, Pammer trying the right guard slot, and he's pushed back at the 35-yard line.
Well, this could be the game right here for Liberty. Mentioned they would get the ball back just under 6 minutes left. That's doable, but another first down would really make it tough.
Yeah.
And Liberty, we don't have numbers on field goal attempts, so we don't know how close they would even want to get to try one. They would need touchdown and a field goal.
3rd down and about 6 from the 34. Pass out to Pammer. Whoa,
that's a live. Oh, I thought it was live.
Tony Davis right there defensively for Liberty, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Interesting call here now. What do you do? Punt it and put them back with their backs to the wall again, or go for it?
I would say punt it. Officials were in good position to make this call. I don't know. It looked backwards from up here on the replay. It was a little closer. Of course, if it's thrown backwards, that's a live ball. You know what, though? I didn't see anyone arguing for Liberty. Now, I still think he's throwing backwards, but I don't see anyone arguing on the far side.
Here is Mushko now faking a pass, going straight ahead and gets to the 32, and that's far short of a first down. And Liberty takes over. They'll have 1st and 10 and 5 minutes and 51 seconds to try and do something.
Now, I thought they would punt the ball there, try to knock Liberty back. The only thing about that, when you're that far back in your end zone, you almost lose a little bit because Liberty's going to pass the ball anyway. A lot of times when you bury a team back, they're going to be more conservative in their play calling. They need 2 scores. They would throw the ball anyway. So Tico Johnson says, hey, we're just going to give it to our quarterback, see if he can pick up the first down, and that would have ended the ball game right there.
Andrew Lee wide to the near sideline. Purse is going to wind up and go too far. Intercepted at the 50-yard line. Number 87 for Northampton, Jimmy Zuber picks it off, takes it to the 25, 22-yard line, and that was the crushing blow for Liberty.
And speaking of crushing, Zuber was the guy that made that hard tackle, closing minutes of the 3rd quarter, seals the game for the Concrete Kids. Overthrown, pass sails on Persia, double coverage, and Zuber brings it back, and of course, Tico Johnson, a genius now for going for it. Gets the ball back, and Northampton in the driver's seat looking to add another win before they square off against Easton next week.
Well, talk about huge games. Here is a handoff now, straight ahead, and Palmer with a head of steam. 10-5, touchdown Northampton.
9th touchdown of the year. Pending the outcome of the other games around the area, he's in first place in scoring now in the Lehigh Valley Conference. Watch how he stays on his feet. Looked like he was hit there by Easterling, but just keeps going.
That's a sure sign of a tired defense. 2 and 3 people had their arms around them, and he just broke their grip and kept going ahead, and it's another touchdown for Mr. Palmer.
Probably not so much physically tired as maybe a little mentally worn out.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Defense, I thought, played pretty well to start the second half.
And they're going to go for 2 here. It's an interesting call. Watch out! Bushko passes incomplete, intended for Chris Gabrielic, and the PAT is not good. And so with 5:33 remaining in the football game, it's now Northampton 26 and Liberty 10.
The reason they go for the 2-point conversion there, well, actually it would have been it's a 3-possession game anyway, if they go for 1 or for 2. But by coming away with nothing, still a 2-possession game. But Liberty would have to make a touchdown and the extra point.
Now for the first time, some of the hardy folks here from Northampton who came to cheer on their Concrete Kids are starting to pick up their cushions and blankets. Actually, nobody has any blankets. They're cushions here, and they're starting to head out toward the exits. Convinced now that this is victory number 5 on the year for their kids, who will go 5-2 overall, 2-0 in the league. And Liberty, on the other hand, Chris, will drop to 4-3 and 1-1.
The only thing you worry about if you're a Northampton fan, they still have the 2-possession game. If they bring the ball back here and convert the 2, they still might have a shot, unless you've already made the official Bob Beatty call.
Yes.
Hey, doesn't Mike Snyder think of everything? He even put a press box phone in our booth so you can make the Bob Beatty call.
There you go. Urbanchik kicks at the 10-yard line. Whoa, wow, there's still some hitting there with a couple minutes to go. You would think that they're kind of wrapping it up, but no such luck as Dodder gets across the 25-yard line and takes a wallop.
Yeah, especially on that play. Northampton knows they can't afford a run back to let Liberty back in the game. Now I would really look for Liberty to go to the air game.
Charlie Irvin is wide to the far sideline. Brendan Van Ackeren, it comes to the near side at the 28-yard line, and personnel obviously going to the shotgun formation. Persa back, look out! And he's hit, sacked, and buried back at the 18-yard line. Whoa!
Well, one of the things I said in the pregame, watch out for a lot of blitzing from Northampton tonight. No prevent defense here. Had an extra D-back in the game, but brought some guys up on the line. And got to Persia in a hurry.
That was Palmer, I guess, coming in. Yeah, look at him. Look out. Here we go. Boom.
Well, he's used to running with a full head of steam in that direction tonight, or at least in this quarter. That doesn't change things too much for Liberty here. Still, I would imagine, stay with the shotgun, the extra wide receivers coming to the near side.
Pammer,
no shotgun.
Pammer probably got up and said, welcome to Lehigh Valley Conference football, you freshmen. Second down now and about 20. Persa back to pass at the 15. Winds up, fires over the middle to Donner. It's picked off at the 40-yard line by Billy Haight. Gets to the 30-yard line, 27, and it's first down Northampton, and that will bring the curtain down on the Hurricanes with 4:24 remaining in the game.
Well, it won't surprise me in the next 1 to 3 years to talk about Dan Persian, his outstanding passing ability. We'll probably want to forget this night. And of course, remember, with the game the way it is, he's almost has to try to put the ball in the air, make something happen. But there you see double coverage. Good hands by Haight hanging on to that football. Not some easy interceptions by the defense tonight. They've had to do a little tipping around and holding on with the fingertips.
Straight ahead, Opplinger gets the call to the 25-yard line. And now they'll just chew this clock up as Northampton really looking impressive here tonight. Although I picked them on basically the flip of a coin. I thought it was going to be very, very close. The home field advantage would probably win it for them, but they didn't need the home field. They just went out and executed tonight and did it very well. 92 picks, 56 winners. I don't know if that's good or bad, Chris, but maybe this weekend pick up a few more. Lehigh plays St. Mary's tomorrow. Is that the, that's not the girl, no, that's not the girls. Okay, Opplinger straight ahead to the 20-yard line. St. Mary's. Lafayette with Columbia.
Oh, I was waiting for the next line. I thought you were going to say the girls' team's playing Temple. You were thinking about going there.
I was thinking about going there.
Don't bust on my alma mater.
Third down and 5 from the 20.
Well, you think about Yako's player of the game, I would say either Craig Mushko or Billy Haight.
Your pick, my friend.
I mean, well, Opplinger too. He's played well both ways. All right, how about we give it to Mushko, because he not only did all the things you want out of a quarterback, but he also received a touchdown pass tonight.
And here we go. Mushko to the 5 to the 1-yard line. Well, if we weren't going to give it to him before that, he's got it now. Great play by Craig Mushko.
Coming in, had 10 touchdowns throwing through the air. Did have 1 rushing touchdown, now has a receiving touchdown, and now on the keeper. And again, this isn't looking real good here in the latter stages of this game for the Liberty defense, but I think they're just a little disheartened.
They punch this one in, it's going to be 32 or 33-10. Never would have thought that. Talk to Craig's bomb. This is Pammer straight ahead. About a year ago. I haven't seen her since, but very proud of her son.
Oh yeah, Jeff Pammer too. Another candidate for Yako's player of the game.
Sure.
But, I mean, that's a sign of a good team, though. When you have 3-4 guys, you can't decide. Craig Mushko, though, the quarterback, gets the honor.
Second and goal from the Liberty 1.
The thing I thought coming in was most impressive was the decision making and the fact that he only has 3 interceptions. Now, normally you see 3 interceptions midway through October. It's with teams that rely heavily on the run, but Northampton does put the ball in the air a lot. Came in, they had outpassed their opponents by about a 100-yard advantage.
Opplinger just put his head down, and the interior of the Liberty line just stood him up straight at about the half-foot line, and that's going to bring up third down and goal, and we're down to 90 seconds remaining in this football game. Want to take this opportunity quickly since we'll get out of here. I'm hungry tonight. I didn't have my 4 hot dogs, so I'm going to get some ring bologna and cheese. Be a real man about it. Anyway, I want to thank Mike Schneider, the athletic director, for all his wonderful help, and his office staff who sends just a ton of stuff out.
Speaking of great Northampton fans,